What is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Shamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for the weekend of December 2nd and the 3rd of 2023. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. As you can see, I'm not in my usual spot. I didn't have enough time to make it this morning before getting to work, and we'll see if anybody walks in. This is actually my second take because the first time I tried making this video, someone walked into the store. But that's the consequences of when you don't wake up early enough to make your daily astrology content. But hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful weekend. Let's go ahead and hop into these astrological transits so you can be better prepared to navigate these celestial energies. Well, I don't have any charts to show you guys today, but the moon is going to be in Leo today. Pretty much for this whole weekend, actually. So, of course, this moon is going to be trining this energy in Aries, Chiron, and the North Node in Aries. It's going to be trining, of course, the Sun and Mars over here in Sagittarius. So, definitely wanting to inject some positive, inspirational energy, especially at a time where we all can definitely feel like we are toting the edge, in many ways, with that Pluto right here at the edge of Capricorn, flirting with the out of bounds. And it can feel in many ways that like we're just kind of waiting for the shoe to drop. We're just kind of waiting for these structures to drop. We're waiting for that disclosure. We're already kind of getting things, but we're just sort of like, there are like little tweaks here and there. And there's this element where I feel like a lot of us are in many ways kind of on autopilot. But there's a difference about it, because like there's some of us who are on autopilot where we are still doing our best to be conscious and aware of how we're moving. And then there are some people that you meet, I'm sure you can attest to it, where it's like they're like fully immersed into the matrix. And those of us who are wanting to, I guess, break out of the matrix, I think one of the things that we've realized, and one of the frustrations I think that a lot of us have experienced, is that when we had our enlightening experiences, when we had our Kundalini awakenings, when we had these spiritual experiences, we thought that we were going to just be able to escape the matrix, but we had to actually go back into the matrix. And you can even see in the movie, The Matrix, he had to go back into the matrix to fix things and to do things. And we have certain tasks, certain, missions that we still had to do. So there could be some frustration when you're having to go back into the matrix and kind of go back and playing these Pluto and Capricorn games. We got to remember that this moon in Leo, while very much so positive, is going to be in square to all this Taurus energy. So it's going to be in square to Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus, not squaring anything in Scorpio, although Venus is coming there, and not going to be opposing anything in Aquarius. But we have to consider that for the last 15 years, whenever the moon was in Cancer, it was opposing Pluto. So for the next 20 years, after the latter part of 2024, when Pluto finally goes into Aquarius and stays in Aquarius, we're going to be seeing Pluto in Aquarius opposing that moon in Leo for 20 years. So that's already going to be a very interesting energy. This is why over the last 15 years, Cancers and Capricorns, why y'all feel like y'all haven't been able to get a break. And for the next 20 years, that's going to kind of shift to Leo and Aquarius. And it's going to shift from the Cancerian energy, so the things that we find comfort in, our family, those structures right there. And then, of course, the Capricorn, which is like, it takes like that fundamental structure of society, which is the family. And then Capricorn is like how it evolves over time, or like how, if you think of like the family as the fundamental unit of like a society, and then it builds up to like these larger structures, which is Capricorn. Now when it's going to be Leo and Aquarius, it's a little bit different. Leo is about like the creative individual, that spark, our vitality, the way it's also, in many ways, going to bring up a lot of things about children, you know what I'm saying, and youth, and that sort of energy. And then the Aquarius side of it too, where it's like, yeah, it can deal with the individuality, but it also can deal with how maybe they try to turn us on to like these gray blobs, and how everyone has to almost be the same. It's weird how that works. Aquarius simultaneously rules, being the individual, but also it's like there's like this sort of escapism kind of energy with Aquarius. But at the same time, there's also this energy where it's like trying to make everyone the same, you know, because it's for the greater good of humanity, right? We're going to be dealing with that dichotomy for the next 20 years. So this moon that we have in Leo is going to be one of the last times that we see it not opposing Pluto in Aquarius. So we have to consider those things, you know. So I think with a weekend like this, Mercury's now in Capricorn, but it's still slowing down. We have Neptune, which has completely stopped, and it stopped on November 30th. And for a little less than a week, Neptune is not moving. It's at 24 degrees, 53 minutes. And it'll stay there until about Tuesday going into Wednesday. So when you have that planet, which is in Pisces, it's in watery Pisces, it's dreaming, it's out there, super etheric, but at the same time it rules propaganda, it rules prisons, it rules prisms, it rules like this desperate need to escape, it rules drugs, it rules asylums, it rules this weird area of the chart, this hidden house where it's like, you know, these hidden spiritual influences, and then like I said, the ruler of it is stopped. So that's why right now it can definitely feel a bit like a purgatory. Wondering what the hell's going on. Trying to get that communication from spirit. Forgive me. I have something going on the TV and a commercial came on and some people were talking. But that's the thing too. It's like distractions can come up right now. Even when you already have the built-in signals to let you know when someone's going to walk through that door, something else can come on and you can be like, hmm? So it's like squirrel or rabbit, you know what I'm saying? So it's a very auspicious and weird energy. I think we all can feel like we're starting to get some clarity and be able to see what's on the other side of this mountain, what's on the other side of this Pluto and Capricorn mountain. And we're starting to be able to see what's on the other side. We're starting to get some ideas, some clues, some hints as to what's on that other side. We still don't really know quite, and there could be some fear around that because we're wondering, it's like, well, we want to almost sort of like guarantee our successes. We want to guarantee and ensure that we're going to be good and solid on the other side. But what the insurance is going to come from is the fact that humans have made it through everything. We've made it through so many different things. Humans have made it through apocalyptic times, have survived apocalyptic times. So it's like, I think on our collective subconscious, which in many ways Neptune does rule that too, especially here in Pisces, and it's stopped. It's like right now we are all swimming in our collective subconscious, trying to sort things out. And one of those things that it seems like we're wanting to manifest in a weird way is some sort of weird apocalyptic scenario, and there's almost like a fetish with it. You can see it in like movies and TV and media and all these sort of things, and the way that people talk, and people are like, oh, I don't like people, I don't like humanity, and all this sort of stuff. You're starting to see that. It's like, so it's like we're heading down a weird path where it's like we want to almost manifest these weird apocalyptic scenarios. But then there's like, and then also this whole idea where people think that certain groups of people have all of this control, and they really don't have as much control as we think. I think that's one of the biggest deceptions right now, is this idea, this belief that certain groups of people have all of this control, but they're forgetting the spiritual aspect. They're forgetting God. They're forgetting that part. So all of these structures that we are afraid of, that are trying to control our lives, they will crash, they will fall. And there's this also element where it's like, well, we still got to play the game while we're still in it. Pluto's still in Capricorn, so we still got to play the Capricorn game. We're not quite to Aquarius yet. And Aquarius isn't the rainbow sunshine place that we think it is. And like that one song from back in the day said about the age of Aquarius, we think it's going to look a certain way, but it's not going to look that way. This is Aquarius. This is the Uranus-ruled aspect. You gotta think about it too. Pluto's been disposited by Saturn, right? This whole time, for like the last 15 years. Now, it's going to be disposited by Uranus, which house also has rings, but it's going to throw things on its side. So Saturn already has these things that are stable, these things that we think that we know, and these structures that we think that we know. Uranus is about to flip them on its side, and we got to get prepared for that. So this is one of those weekends, like I said, with this moon here in Leo, it's making some positive aspects, wanting us to still be inspired and motivated even when things seem weird, even when, you know, we may not necessarily have all of the solutions, or even if our ideas may not be fully fleshed out, to not be afraid to still move forward and engage in those things and find the right people to connect with. You know, this is a time where it's like we're all kind of tired and sleepy. But it's about whether or not we can become lucid within the dream of life and realize that it's okay to become lucid within the dream of life. I think these times, the last 3 years and 4 years, have kind of killed some people's dreams and ideas, and now they just kind of want to just continually engage with what entertains them instead of actually like putting something out themselves. But, you know, Spirit, God is really asking us to not lose that creative spark, not lose the almost sort of even naivety of the inner child, not naivety to a lot of the, you know, challenges of the world, but just simply being a creative spark of the divine. That's really what it comes down to, because children are naturally super creative and imaginative. And it's that part that God is wanting us to realize that it's not dead, it is never dead. It's just that sometimes when life happens, we can forget about that part of ourselves. This weekend is reminding us that that part is incredibly valuable and to not let that go by the wayside. So, we have the Knight of Swords right now. We have the Knight of Swords. So yeah, people are going to be wanting to champion certain causes and kind of run into things. You can see with the trees, they're like blowing in one direction and he's running into the wind, right? So he's like running into a hurricane. And I think right now it's like we can kind of feel like there's something coming and running towards us. And are we just going to sit there and wait for things to happen, or are we going to run into that? Now we have to ask ourselves, what are we running into? Are we running into situations that we have played out and we've done before? We pretty much know where that's going to go to? Or are we running into situations where, yeah, it's exciting, it's new, it makes us feel like we're alive again? This Knight of Swords is one that's like, so what makes you feel alive? But some people are almost afraid of that feeling. You know what I'm saying? So like we have the Knight of Wands as well. So we have two knights here. So this weekend is asking, whenever I see knights, I think of action. So there's wanting us to take some sort of action here with the air and the fire. This is definitely a weekend that wants you to be inspired and motivated and transform your understanding of the world. And just because things seem a little bit crazy and we seem like we're at a bit of a weird purgatorial state where we're getting little disclosures here and there, and things are starting to break down, and AI is changing the game with a lot of stuff. You know, we got to ask ourselves, all right, well, the situations that we're running into, are there things that make us feel alive? Or are there things that are just going to give us like this temporary fix that's going to wear off and it's not really going to be something that's sustainable? We have the Four of Cups. Yep. We got this card yesterday. So like I said, the world is giving us the answers. The world is giving us the gifts and the beauty. It's just whether or not we are willing to see it and whether or not we are willing to fight for it. Because some of these things aren't just going to come automatically, but the world is definitely giving us some beautiful things. And we have to just be willing to kind of grow up a bit in adults and realize that we are so fucking blessed. You are so fucking blessed. It's amazing. And that you don't have to allow other people's understandings and beliefs completely trump your own to where it blocks you from knowing what's true within you. You have to go within, you have to meditate, you have to connect with with the source that comes through you, which is in all of us, but it comes through you. You have to connect with that. And then you will find yourself connecting with the right people, the right situations, and collaborating so we can raise the vibration of this planet, which is ultimately our goal. So that is going to do it for your astrology forecast for this weekend. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com. As always, y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you guys on the next astrology forecast. Peace.